Okay. All right, I think I am set. You know what? I should have been better prepared today. I should have written myself some notes or an outline or something, but I got so excited about this that I didn't do that. And so now here I am and I'm just excited and I don't know where to start. So I'm just going to start with hello. Tova's here. Hello. Hi. I'm glad you're here with me today. Last year we did this. This was a very sort of impromptu challenge that I presented in the Facebook group, and I called it the Something Beautiful Challenge. And I think somebody already has something like that, so I need to find a new name for it. But I'm just going to run with it again this year because we're still a pretty small group. But really, it's about seeking out things that bring you joy, something that brings a smile to your face. So you're looking for inspiration in your everyday surroundings. So here's how it's, oh, Trisha's here too. Hi. Here's how it's going to go. All right. So every day for the next 7 days, we are going to collectively as a group together, we are going to actively look for something that brings a smile to our face. And when we find it, we're going to just pull out our phones and take a picture of it. All right. So it can be inside, it can be outside, it can be a plant, it can be a flower, it can be a leaf, it can be a crack in the sidewalk, it could be the texture of your table, it could be a super blurry picture that is something that's your favorite color, you know? So don't be limited by an idea that you need to take a pretty picture. What I want is I want you to look for a moment. I want you to just look for anything that makes you pause for a second. Something that grabs your attention. Maybe it's your cat or your dog or a bird that you hear singing outside. Even if it's a blurry, far away picture that you can't really tell what the bird is, take a picture of it. Share the story, because the picture is going to help you remember that moment that you were in when you were just sitting there. Maybe you were sitting outside waiting for the bus and you heard a bird singing nearby and it made you sit up and look for it. And you found it. You're like, oh, I found it. And maybe it was a robin, or maybe it was a dove. Maybe it was just a pigeon, you know, but it was something that caught your attention. It interested you and you looked for it. And when you found it, it made you smile. So it's little moments like this that I want us to collect over the next week. Okay? So don't make it complex. Don't worry about trying to take a pretty picture. Just look for something that brings a smile to your face and see if you can capture that moment, either with a picture. The picture makes it easy to take it, you know, to capture that moment in the moment where it's happening. And it makes it easy to share too, here within the group, because you can share the picture. But if you don't have your phone or your camera with you and you can't take a picture, come back to it later and write down, draw a picture if you want to, or whatever suits you, okay? Whatever makes you happy, whatever brings a smile to your face, that's what you're looking for. And if you're going through a phase right now where that's a struggle, you know, I know that in some places it's February, it's cold, it's dreary. About this time, February, I forget what year it was, a couple years ago, it was the great big snowstorm in Texas, and Patrick, my husband, was in Lithuania, and it was just me and my son home alone during COVID. I pulled him out of school, and so it's me and this 4-year-old, I think he was 4 at the time, stuck in this house together with no electricity. There was no heat. We lived on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner for several days. It was, yeah, I wasn't getting outside during that, and it was hard to find joyful things during a time where I'm actually a little bit concerned, right? You know, I was trying to weigh, you know, is it safer for us to stay here even though it's getting colder and colder in the house, or do I need to brave the ice and see if we can drive to a hotel? And so when you're in life moments like that, it can be really hard to stop and look for something joyful. But that's when it's the most important to do it. Yeah. Oh, Anna's here. Hi. She said she can't stay on. She's headed to an appointment, but we'll catch this later. Awesome. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Trish says this will be fun. Yes, this was really fun last year. I really enjoyed you guys sharing your stories with me and your pictures. And at the end of it, we came together and I showed you some tools that you can use to take these pictures of things that you find joyful and create a color palette with it that you can apply to a piece of artwork you're crocheting. You know, we're here, we crochet, right? So we'll talk about that again. And in the video description, I dropped the links to my blog posts where I shared more information about that last year. But if you'd like to come together and do that again this year with new pictures, or if someone would like to submit their picture for me to kind of process and pull a color palette out of it, I'm more than happy to do that again for you guys this year. So just have fun with this. And remember, you're looking for a moment. Just anything that makes you pause and smile. Capture it, write it down, take a picture, whatever works for you. And if you're comfortable, share it with us. We'd love to see what brings a smile to your face. Trish asks, we start tomorrow? We start today, but I'm going to keep it easy on you. I'll post a prompt a few minutes after the video is done here into the Facebook group, and then you can just drop down into the comments anytime, either today or in the morning, whatever works for you. And it's an open prompt. So anything at all that catches your eye today, take a picture, drop it into the comments on the prompt. It'll be a picture in the Facebook group, and share it with us, because yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So Tove says, it is good to notice the small, beautiful things. Absolutely. And at the end of this, you know, you can take your pictures and you can put them into an album on your phone. And then on those days where you're having trouble finding something that makes you smile in your life, you can go back to that album and you can look through those pictures and you can say, hey, I remember that day. I remember that bird that I heard singing at the bus stop. I remember how funny my cat looked, you know, that day when I caught a picture of him almost falling off the couch while he was snapping. I remember seeing that flower. I'd never seen that kind of flower before. Or I remember the brickwork on that wall that I've walked by 100 times and never noticed before. These are things that have happened to me or to people I know who have done this sort of exercise. And if you make a habit of it, if you carry this forward, even if you don't do it every day, but when something catches your eye, when you notice something and it makes you smile, you take a picture of it, drop it into that album, it will grow into a beautiful place for you to visit when you need a smile. And it can also be a great source of inspiration. So, like I said, we'll talk about how we can create color palettes from our pictures later. But for right now, and I think the most important part of this practice is just getting into the habit of looking for joyful things, even if they're teeny tiny things. Now, if it's a great big thing, you know, say your kid's birthday party is coming up this week, and that's going to be a long, exhausting, joyful, wonderful, harrowing day, right? That's great too. Capture those moments too. But I think it's especially important for us to remember to notice the little things. So I hope that this will inspire you to do that a little bit more if you aren't in a daily practice of doing that already. And we'll see what we come up with over the next 7 days. So checking comments. I don't see anything else. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. It's pretty simple though. We're just looking for something that makes us smile. So, and then the upcoming prompts will be more specific. So we will have a day where we're looking for something with texture. You can get really close to it and just get a picture of the texture. And remember, it doesn't have to be even in focus, because it's all about just slowing down and noticing and capturing that moment. So I'm excited to get started. If you've got any questions along the way, feel free to shout. I am here for you. Otherwise, I will see you in the group. Bye for now.